Hi, my name is Margarida and welcome to my channel Margarida Buju and welcome to a new video. And in this video you'll see my 2026 reading journal setup video. So as you may or may not know, I have a reading journal and I update it like every month, and I like to keep track of the books that I've read because that's one of my favorite hobbies is reading. So I like to have a journal for that. I don't have like any digital type of journaling for my readings, like any tracker like Goodreads or anything. So this is the only way to track my readings for the year. So I'm using the same notebook as I finished 2025 because I couldn't fit a whole year in the previous notebook that I had, so I finished the year in this notebook and I'm using the same notebook for 2026. And right now you are seeing like a cover page. I printed the numbers 20 and 26 and I show some stickers. In this video you'll see some different stickers, ones from a sticker book that a friend got me and others from some sticker sheets from a shop that I'll link down below, and others are like random stickers that I don't know where they're from. And I also used some washi tapes. Most of them were gifted by friends, so I don't really know where they were from. And I have some different types of papers as well, and I'll be using some brown pens, a Muji brown pen, a Sigma Micron brown pen in like a different shade, and another brown pen as well. So 3 different pens and some sticker sheets related to books and some papers and washi tapes. So I don't usually do cover page, or if I do it's just a half spread, but I decided with a big cover page and I think it turned out very good. I really like the result. And the next spread is the spread for my goals for my readings for this year. So I have some little boxes for me to track the books that I read, and I usually divide things between ebooks and physical books and audiobooks. So audiobooks I track in a different tracker, but this time my goal is to read 50 books in a year, and I have everything combined together, and I'll just paint each box with a different color, one for physical books, other for ebooks and other for audiobooks. I think this way makes more sense because I read in the 3 forms, and I definitely read more in ebook form. I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure that I read more in ebook form. But I like to keep track of that and see how much I read in ebook and how much I read in physical books and how much I read in audiobook form. And I don't read more in physical form because it's more expensive, and I think I read faster in ebooks, and an e-reader is the best thing for me because I can read anywhere with any light, and it's light and small and it's very portable. So I really love reading ebooks, but I love reading in general. And in this spread I like to have more space than just the 50 boxes for the 50 books that I want to read in a year. I like to have more space for me to add more boxes, because in the reality is that I always read more than 50 books. But I don't know what the year has to offer and everything, so I don't like to push that limit too high. So 50 books is a comfortable number for me. And then I have a little space for some goals, not related to numbers but related to more specific things, like read certain authors or certain genres, or like visit more bookstores, or buy more used books, things like that. I like to have some type of goal not related to numbers, because for me, I think quality is always better than quantity. So even if I don't read 50 books, if all the books that I read are very good and are aligned with my goals, I think that's the ultimate goal, you know? So yeah. And this next spread is my most time consuming spread ever to do. I always like to do a bookshelf spread with some shelves and some books, and then I write the name of the book in the little spine of the little books that I draw in the shelves. But this specific layout is inspired by a reading journal video that I saw on YouTube, and I'll leave the channel link down below because I really like the style of this creator and everything. So I think, yeah, it was a great inspiration. Actually, it was like the spread that inspired this whole reading journal was this spread that I saw, so I'll definitely leave the channel link down below for you to see. So instead of a normal like bookshelf that I usually do, I decided to do this one with a window, so it's a little bit different because I always have so much space left if I only draw shelves, because I can't read that many books, and I always do like some pretty empty shelves, just the books. And this time I have a window and some little trinkets and a plant, and I really love how this turned out. Like this spread, this specific spread took me like 40 minutes or something, almost an hour to do. It took a really long time, and I had everything like laid out with pencil, like everything was sketched, but it took so much time, but I think it's totally worth it. I think it's the prettiest spread that I have. And actually, if you read a lot of books, you can do one with a more like beginning of the year themed, and then other more like autumn and Christmas theme, for example. So that's really nice. And when I was filming this video, I was not at home, so I brought my supplies with me to this place, and I couldn't remember to bring a black pen, like felt pen, to color the sky, the night sky in this window, and I really wanted a night sky with stars and a moon. And the only pens that I had were almost out of ink or were too fine. And it took like a long time to paint, and in various times I thought about giving up and then paint everything at home and don't film that, and that was totally fine and valid because this journal has worked for me, so not just for the video content. I really like to use this journal. But yeah, I painted the sky with like 3 different pens, 2 out of ink, 1 very fine. Probably is almost out of ink now, but yeah, I have a sky, so that's what matters. And then for the next spread, this spread is a little different, but I love this spread. And this spread is for me to read more Brandon Sanderson books, more specifically Cosmere books, not other books that he has that are not related to Cosmere. I have one in here that is not a Cosmere book, but is one of the like most recent secret stories he does. I can't remember how it's called. Secret projects. So yeah, one of them is one of the secret projects, and the other secret projects that I have in here are part of the Cosmere. So that's why they are here, and that's why I have one non-Cosmere book. I think that's a non-Cosmere book. I did my research. And the only books that I've read from Brandon Sanderson was Dress of the Emerald Sea, and I've read the Mistborn trilogy, like the first 3 books of that trilogy, and now I want to read The Way of Kings. And I read Warbreaker as well, and I really love Warbreaker. It's a standalone. And I know more or less the reading order that I want to do is the one that Brandon Sanderson got in his YouTube channel, so I'm following that reading order. And then I just put some stickers on top of the cover pages of the books that I've already read, and I hope to make a dent on the Brandon Sanderson world and books. If I didn't have a book club or anything, I think I'll just focus on Brandon Sanderson. And if I didn't have more books on my physical TBR, but because I have some on my physical TBR, I want to read them first and then buy pretty much all Brandon Sanderson books. That's my goal. That's what I want to do for this year, is to focus on Brandon Sanderson. So this spread is very pretty because it has all the cover pages of the books that I want to read. And I'm not expecting to read all these books in 2026. I know I'm not that crazy. Some of books are 1000 pages or more, but I want to read at least 1 or 2. That's a goal for me. But yeah, I would love to read like 4 or 5. That would be amazing. And this next spread is my statistics for the year. So I like to write my favorite book. So sorry if you hear some noises, it's my cat playing in the background, but this is the only time that I have to record this audio, so I'm sorry if you hear anything, but if you have pets, you understand. What I was saying is that this is my stats spread. So I have a space for the favorite book of each month. So I read a bunch of books each month and then I'll pick the favorite and write in here. And then I like to write the stats, like how many physical books, ebooks or audiobooks I've read and the total number of books that I read in that specific month. So I don't like to track genres or pages or years or things like that. I like to know fiction and non-fiction, but I don't need a space for that. And genres, I think it was very limiting if I was going to keep track of that, because mostly I like romance and I like fantasy, but I like to read so many more things, and if I see that I'm not reading enough from a genre, I would want to pick it up even if I'm not feeling reading that, and then it would make me go in a reading slump and everything. So I just want to read what I want to read, you know. Of course that I'll know which authors that I should read or not. I research a little bit about authors as well, but yeah, that's the stats that I like to keep track of. And then I have 2 spreads, one for my series where I write the name of the series and a space for how many books the series has and how many I've read. And then I have a spread for the books for the book club that I have with my 2 friends. So I have a space for each month, and when we'll pick up the book for each month, I'll print the cover and put that in this spread. So it's a very pretty spread because in the end of the year I can see all the books that we chose to read in the year. So that's very fun. And then this next spread is my physical TBR spread. So it's just a space for me to keep track the physical books that I still have to read, and I don't like to have a lot of books on my physical TBR, like 1 or 2 are like the goal for me. I can have more if they are non-fiction, because some of them are more for me to go throughout time and not read in one sitting, you know. So non-fiction books I can have more, but fiction books I like to have 1 or 2, but at Christmas time or in my birthday I always receive books, so I have more books after Christmas and after my birthday, and when it's the book fair here in Portugal, in Lisbon. Normally I buy some books as well, so that's the 3 times of the year that I usually have more books in hand. But other than that, I like to have 1 or 2. In this moment I have like 5 or 6, 7 I think. Less than 10, and I'm already freaking out because that's a lot for me in my physical TBR. I know people have hundreds of books in their physical TBRs, and that's totally fine if it works for you. It doesn't work for me, but I can understand if it works for you, actually. And the next spread is the Want to Read spread, and it's a space for me to write new releases and then other books from authors, like backlist books. So I have a space on the bottom for the new releases, on the top the other books that I didn't read yet, or I found the author like yesterday, so I want to read all their backlog and everything. So that's the spread. I really like this spread, it's very useful for me and I think I'm gonna use it a lot. And this next spread is my webtoons spread, because I don't know where to track that, because webtoons are like graphic novels. I consider them almost books, but they are online, you know. So I just like to keep track of the webtoons that I'm reading, and I want to read more this year. I'm reading one that has a lot of chapters, so I want to keep track of that. And then I have a space for the 26 books I want to read in 2026. So I'll choose 26 books that I want to read in this year and I'll write it in here. And I think I wrote like 20 books already, but I'll leave 6 books in the year for me to fill in the first quarter of the year, and then I have to have this list said and done. And these are my 2026 books that I want to read in the year. And that's everything for my reading journal setup. I hope you liked the video and I hope it gave you some inspiration for a reading journal. I know I have a friend that only watches these videos from me, so I hope you're watching this one. And yeah, if you like this video, please leave it a like and comment down below what's your next read, what's the book you want to read next, or what's your current book. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, so bye, see you next time.